Today I am going to discuss about the topic mechanism of HCl secretion. Mechanism of HCl secretion is actually a part of gastric secretion. The gastric secretion includes secretion of HCl and other major constituents such as synthesis and secretion of pepsinogen, mucus and also the intrinsic factor. So my topic today is mechanism of HCl secretion, hydrochloric acid secretion. The picture what is shown here is adapted from G.K. Pal. The picture is about the parietal cell which is showing the mechanism of HCl secretion. The secretion of HCl is happening in the parietal cell. That's an MCQ question. So HCl is secreted from parietal cells that are located in the fundus and body of the stomach. So exactly saying parietal cell is located in the fundus and body of the stomach and HCl secretion is from the parietal cells. So H plus secretion is possible in stomach due to the presence of numerous H plus K plus ATPase. You can see here what I am showing around H plus K plus ATPase. You can see the hydrogen and the potassium ion actively pumps the hydrogen ion. So this in exchange of this hydrogen ion, you can see the hydrogen ion from the parietal cell is going towards the gastric lumen. In exchange of that, the potassium ion is coming inside the parietal cell. So in exchange for hydrogen ion, the potassium enters the cell, the parietal cell, and this is an active transport. The energy is provided by the process by the hydrolysis of ATP. You can see there is a ATPase, hydrogen potassium ATPase. So it's an active transport. Example for active transport, you can say this particular example. Now coming to the parietal cell inside, you can see inside in the cytosol, especially saying in the cytosol of the parietal cell, the H plus is derived from the breakdown of carbonic acid. You can see here carbonic acid. So H plus is obtained from the carbonic acid. The combination of carbon dioxide and water forms carbonic acid H2CO3 with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. So with the help of an enzyme carbonic anhydrase, it forms carbonic acid, and the carbonic acid later dissociates into bicarbonate ion and H plus ion. So we get the H plus ion from the carbonic acid as H2CO3, which is formed by the combination of CO2 and H2O, and it is with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase is what we are getting the carbonic acid. So this step can be blocked by a drug known as acetazolamide, which is a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. So that is one of the applied aspect which comes in this regard, in this aspect. Acetazolamide, which is a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. So carbonic anhydrase is necessary, is essential for the conversion of carbon dioxide combining with water to form carbonic acid. If the carbonic acid comes or it is formed only, we will get a H plus dissociated from the carbonic acid, which is essential for our mechanism of HCl secretion. Now where do we get the carbon dioxide from? The carbon dioxide utilized actually for the formation of H2CO3 is derived from the intracellular metabolisms and plasma. And the bicarbonate ion formed after dissociating the carbonic acid, it's actually exchanged for chloride ion. The same thing what I told in the chloride shift in earlier one of my video. You can see here the bicarbonate ion is going outside to the ISF. In exchange, we get a chloride ion coming inside into the cell. So the HCO3 minus, that's the bicarbonate ion formed by the breakdown of carbonic acid, is exchanged for chloride ion on the basolateral membrane of the cell by the exchanger known as bicarbonate. What I have circled here is the bicarbonate chloride exchanger. Same thing what we studied in chloride shift. HCO3 minus ion is going outside, so it's a negatively charged ion is going inside. It has to be exchanged with another negative charged ion, so the chloride comes in exchange with the bicarbonate ion inside the cell. So it is by an exchanger known as bicarbonate chloride exchanger. It's an antiport. It's an example for antiport. Now the chloride ion that enters the parietal cell is transported into the gastric lumen. You can see the diagram here. The chloride ion what is entered here, it is directly going to the gastric lumen. So the chloride in exchange with the bicarbonate which has entered the parietal cell goes to the gastric lumen. So now we have H plus ion in the gastric lumen and Cl minus ion in the gastric lumen. So H plus ion what is obtained by the pumping of H plus K plus ATPase, which helps in the H plus ion going to the gastric lumen in exchange of K plus ion going into the parietal cell, and the Cl minus ion which was exchanged in exchange of the bicarbonate ion going from the parietal cell into the interstitial fluid, and in exchange of that chloride ion was getting into the parietal cell which was actually transported into the gastric lumen. Now we have a combination of H plus and Cl minus ion getting HCl secretion. So HCl is formed here. So now the bicarbonate ion is in the interstitial fluid. It enters the bloodstream from the interstitial fluid. So what happens at last, for each H plus secreted into the gastric lumen, one HCO3 minus is reabsorbed into the plasma. Now we can see here, for each H plus ion secreted into the gastric lumen, one bicarbonate ion is coming into the interstitial fluid. Means it is going into the plasma. It is reabsorbed in the plasma. So for each H plus secreted going into the gastric lumen, one HCO3 minus is reabsorbed into the plasma. Now what happens to the K plus? K plus can be recycled. Recycling of K plus, the potassium can be, it is happening that enters the oxyntic cell. The K plus entering the oxyntic cells by H plus K plus ATPase. As I earlier told you, H plus K plus ATPase. There is a recycling of potassium, and this potassium is transported back into the gastric lumen, which is reutilized for further H plus secretion. Again, it is reutilized later for further H plus secretion. That is what happens to the K plus ion. So enough or adequate K plus is available in the lumen for effective potassium hydrogen pump. That's potassium hydrogen ATPase, that particular active transport. Adequate potassium is available in the lumen because of this. Now one more thing what I have to add here is, what is postprandial alkaline tide? For each H plus secreted into the gastric lumen, one HCO3 minus is reabsorbed into plasma, what I told you earlier. What happens with this? With increase in the rate of HCl secretion, the level of bicarbonate ion increases in the blood. So what is that? As I earlier told you, for each 1 H plus going to the gastric lumen, 1 HCO3 minus is going into the plasma, it's reabsorbed in the plasma. With increase in the rate of HCl secretion, the level of bicarbonate ion increases in the blood. Consequently, what happens? Following a meal that stimulates gastric acid secretion, pH of the blood increases. So it is acidic. As blood becomes alkaline, the urine becomes alkaline. This alkalization of urine is called postprandial alkaline tide. So with increase in the rate of HCl secretion, the level of bicarbonate ion increases in the blood. Consequently, following a meal, what happens? The pH of the blood increases. As the blood becomes alkaline, the urine becomes alkaline. This particular thing, the alkalization of urine, is known as the postprandial alkaline tide. So I summarize the mechanism of HCl secretion. The HCl secreted in the parietal cell. Exactly saying the parietal cell is located in the fundus and body of the stomach. So what I told you certain things is about H plus K plus ATPase. Then about the dissociation of carbonic acid. That is the main two things you have to keep in your mind. And one more thing what I didn't mention was Na plus K plus ATPase, sodium potassium pump, primary active transport is there. Overall to maintain the homeostasis, it's there. All those three, Na plus going outside to K plus coming inside. So here one sodium potassium pump, sodium potassium ATPase is also there here also. That is there here also. I did mention that. So we're coming to the main part what I told. HCl secreted in the parietal cell, especially located in the fundus and the body of the stomach. First what happens? The H plus K plus pump actively pumps the H plus ion into the gastric lumen, and in exchange of that, K plus ion is coming inside the parietal cell. So now next what happens? Next what happens is the formation of carbonic acid from the combination of carbon dioxide and water with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, and this carbonic acid dissociates into bicarbonate ion and H plus ion. So this bicarbonate ion formed in the parietal cell will move out to the interstitial fluid. In exchange of that, there is a chloride ion moving inside the parietal cell. So this is known as this is with the help of bicarbonate chloride exchanger, an antiport mechanism. So what happens? The chloride ion coming inside the parietal cell is moving actively. It moves towards this chloride ion moves towards the gastric lumen. Now what is happening here is, for each H plus ion going into the gastric lumen, the bicarbonate ion is reabsorbed in the plasma. So for one H plus ion moving into the gastric lumen, one HCO3 minus is moving into the interstitial fluid, which is reabsorbed in the plasma. So that is the highlighted point here. And there is also one more thing which I have told is postprandial alkaline tide. For each H plus secreted in the gastric lumen, one bicarbonate ion is reabsorbed in the plasma. With increase in the rate of HCl secretion, the level of bicarbonate ion increases in the blood. So what happens consequently? Following a meal that stimulates the gastric acid secretion, the pH of the blood increases, and as the blood becomes alkaline, the urine also becomes alkaline. So this alkalinization of urine is called as postprandial alkaline tide. So that's about the mechanism of HCl secretion. This diagram is an easy thing to remember. We have a parietal cell. We can see a carbon dioxide and water combining inside with the help of carbonic anhydrase. It forms carbonic acid. It dissociates into bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. This particular equation is there in many instances, many places it is there in physiology. So same thing is happening. So where the H plus ion, again the H plus ion can be actively pumped into the gastric lumen. In exchange, the K plus ion can come into the parietal cell by the H plus K plus ATPase. The bicarbonate ion moving outside the parietal cell into the interstitial fluid, which goes into the bloodstream. In exchange of bicarbonate ion moving out, A negatively charged chloride ion is in exchange of bicarbonate ion moves into the parietal cell, which later moves into the gastric lumen. So this particular thing is an exchanger, HCO3Cl minus exchanger. And what happens for each H plus ion moving into the gastric lumen? One HCO3 minus is reabsorbed in the plasma.